Shalom, shalom, wonderful family of Yahusha and Abba Yahuwah. Wonderful children. Most of us, most of y'all, we still have some to get on board, but I know you are going to do it because you love Yahuwah. All right, let's pick it up. Part 2 for September 23rd. This is what he said. Last call for my children to wake up from their sleep and slumber. He's not going to keep coming back begging people to take the time to seek him, to search him out. We must share these messages with our loved ones, our friends, people in our circle. When you walk into the store, someone's in line with you. If you go to the park and play basketball or go to any social event where maybe you're getting I'm not sure, just whatever. I don't go out like that, but it's time. It's time to share wherever you go. Whatever they're doing is just time. It'll make them stop and think. And then you send your prayers up that he water that seed that you drop. Let's just get to his work. He said, my love is everlasting, and when you walk with me. So when you walk with him, you are his jewel. You are his jewel. You are his jewel. You don't know how many times I've heard him say that about his children, and they ignore him. They are stuck in bad. They don't know how to come out. But hearing things on a repetitive basis make people think about things. So you have to repeat over and over and over. He's coming. He's here. He's here. He's going to be making a move. Family, let's walk for him. And that's what he said again. Walk in my commandments, not man's teachings. The pastors was teaching it wrong. He said, time to step up to the plate and the plateau of truth. And the Father, he will hear you and answer. If you are seeking him, he always have told me, tell him to come to me and ask me. All you can get it confirmed. Go ask him. Go ask him. You want to know his true name? Go ask him like I did. Stop believing man. They have tampered with much, and you know exactly what I mean. They have tampered with it. And he told me those who tampered with it gonna burn. Not the ones that published it, but the ones that tampered with it. When you start reading, you're gonna see all the different varieties and different ways, and in Revelation, and he told us not to change nothing. Anyway, let's move on. He said things were lost long ago, but now for you to come and find the true story of who you really are as a people. October the 5th, he said, gates open soon. They are out. Many will come out. He said, America is WICK. This is why that he's going to do what he's going to do. Read Joel 3, Obadiah, Zephaniah. Read it. There's some more too. You can go into Jeremiah 50. Read those. He said, soon, not many more years left that they know. And we'll talk about the ones that's going to be here. He said, my soldiers stand tall soon. He said, much come out of the darkness. And then he said, rest for the journey. He's been telling me to rest and rest since I left off of TT. And I'm going to tell you, the enemy will try and steal your rest and your peace. So you have to pray and ask y'all to give you some rest and give you some peace, because distractions are everywhere, and it's to wear you out, wear the saints of the Most High out. Okay? We're out his children. On 10:12, he said, daughter, things is getting ready to change. He said, believe me what I say. I take care of my children. My angels are there and have been for a few years now. He said, we have made a way. So his leaders, he's talking about himself, his leaders and groups and children stay focused. He said, my darkness is coming now. You know, if y'all had came like last year, the year before, there was going to be a lot of people left behind because people was not on board. They were not doing what they were supposed to be doing. And since a lot of more things have occurred, a lot of more people opened their eyes and they came in. So that's when he opened up the ports. He says, small ships, larger. All right. And then he says, he spoke about reparations again. He said, and many were tested. They already been tested. He said, they already been tested over the years. He said, so tell them much is ahead. And he did not go into that much more detail about that. He just said that many been tested. And then on the 12th of October, he said, my darkness will bring about change with and through many. And then he said, pray for our young ladies, daughters of Zion, and they have fallen much. He said, the wicked, far beyond explaining, and he did not go into detail. And then he said, Yahusha, he said, we are here till and to bring y'all back. So I'm going to remind you again, he want me to remind you again that the things that he said he's going to do here, that's what he's talking about. I don't want to say the word, so I had to think of a way to get it out. And then he said, still, I'm preparing my 144 to stand. So rest and get some peace. Your mind and your spirit. Hasatan play many games. And to put your thinking caps on to stay safe in this world. Remember, call on him. He said distractions are on high, and it's high on the list. Very high, it's up there to keep you distracted. He said they play many, many games, all the way to the end. He said, tell Judah to look where your help come from and be ready. You know not the hour. 4, pick up. You don't know. Nobody knows. But I'm going to say this. If you're aware, if they come and you are ready to go, heart, mind, and soul, he's coming to get you. If you don't have anything, let it go. He's going to provide. Let it go. Do not return. Okay, back home or wherever, trying to get your bag if you don't have it. He said, many still won't believe because they have not a relationship with me. And he said again, only a remnant. He said, and they will cry much, but I must move to get my people out of Bab and Egypt. He said, and we know it's a spiritual Egypt. He said, now we move to handle all things. He's on the move. That's what I'm telling you. Just have everything you need in your home, because you know there's some events that must happen before we leave. He said, I handle those behind. Listen to this. And this was on October the 12th. He said, I handle those behind the gates and the wires and the doors and the institution and the walls. Any of mine in locks and chains. He said, all belong to me with my blood. He said, repent now or be left. And then he said, share with family and friends and loved ones. And then on the 15th of this month, he said, pray about this in everything you do. He said, tell my people to come nearer. And he's not saying just nearer to him, but he's talking about making that move nearer for it to be easier for you to get where you need to get. But like I said, the angels are going to come. Then he said, the enemy is planning much. He said, we move different. He said, we move in unison when time permits. And then he said, the winds, like he had told me before, he was going to send the winds. Guys, pray for Jamaica. Pray for your brothers and sisters. He said, the winds blow for the finish line. And I'm not saying they the finish line. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, he's saying that the winds are going to blow for the finish line. And that Jamaica just fell in my spirit when I saw the winds. And I know that the hurricane's supposed to hit them in a day or so. Pray for them. And then, but I'm praying that this is what my prayer, that people will open their eyes more in Jamaica and see truth and surrender. That's my prayer, that they see truth. Some people still don't see it. And then he said, things move toward the east. Just be prepared. No man knows the hour. No man knows the hour. No man knows the hour. Okay, and we're going to move on to October the 17th, 2025. He said, I will bless those who bless others. Let me say that again, because a lot of people are just haven't had, and they think about themselves and they do not share. And they have had it for many years. And they have $1 million houses. And then they hold on to what they have. And we have our brothers and sisters on the street. They need shoes, a jacket, cold weather's coming, maybe some cup of soups or get out the cold or whatever. Many, many needs. They have many needs, he says. And it's not just them. It's a lot of people. People have lost jobs and things. He said, I will bless those who bless others. Even when you're down low and we share, just pray over that he will multiply what you have and what you have given, and watch and see him move. He said, my children have gone without for many years. Bless my people and share. Many will collect funds to share, so share now. He said, now rest and tell my children to stand. He said, time to settle up and get all manners in order. You heard what he said. He said, time to settle up and get all manners in order. Get what you need. Have your papers ready to take. Get all children items ready. He said on the 18th, he said some cold days are ahead. He said they play with the weather in different areas and they want to be me. He said, a God for everyone of controlling. He said, I won't allow my position to be stolen, and I handle this go round. What he said again? I handle this go round. So keep your blankets and your hats handy. Tell them and my children that the Phoenicians were horrible people. Many descendants are still among us today, and they send their practices on even today. And he said to go study it. He said the Venetians and the Alexander the Great have similar ways. And then he moved on and said, Yahusha said, there is a Caucasian prophet who is living in a hotel, and she knows, if she hear this, she'll know. Maybe someone can reach out to her and let her know. And she's been living in a hotel for a minute, and she's been prophesizing, and I've seen her too. He said, tell the people to listen as he's sending her more messages. They should listen. And on the 18th, he said, many planning to leave. He said, tell them to go. So they will endure my Joel, the book of Joel. So they will not endure his book of Joel if they stay they're going to have to endure his book of Joel. He said, my protection is through my words. When he give a message, that's him protecting you. So he's telling you and those that are preparing, he says, time to go. Don't keep putting it off. It's time to go. But let me say this. Before you leave, please pray and ask him which direction to go, and he will lead and guide you. A lot of people get lost in shuffle, or things happen by going to just watching YouTube videos, or somebody say you need to. No, you need to go to him in everything, all things. When you buy a car, when you buy a house, when you have a baby, all things, go to him and pray. He proceeded to say, we're headed for the WAR. He said, that's the time. He said, very soon. So buckle down, because it comes and goes quickly. He said, much fear upon the land. And then he said, cold weather, disease, and plagues all around, different in different places. On the 23rd, he said, tell my people that I love them, and to understand I created you to thrive, not to hate or dislike other nations of people. That's not why we were born. So that did not come from him. He talks about the false prophets, and there's some sent out there. They are prophesizing, and on the other hand, they're doing wickedness behind the scenes. There's one that is a false prophet, and people just don't know, because some of the stuff they do know, they can see in the realm of the spirit, and but he was like born to be a leader and instill fear, and they have taught him much, and I'm gonna say that they have taught him much. So I'm gonna tell you to be prayerful as you listen to many people, and let him drop it in your spirit of who's playing and who's not. He said, tell my people my wrath is suddenly approaching. And then he said, I am, or you may lose out. He's saying that he is who he is. I am is one of his names, he said, or you may lose out. Call on him, Luke 6:46. Why you call me Yah, but in the Bible it says Lord, and not obey. Obedience is better than the sacrifice. Obey him. He has given much. And we got to stand and listen. Obedience and listen. Walk in his commandments, statutes, and laws. Get ready. If you're not ready, you can't afford it. Don't worry about the bag of whatever, because he has already prepared. There are people that are waiting and been waiting on his children, on his jewels. And I'm going to say this because a lot of people don't believe that you are a jewel in the apple of his eye. If you have been reading the Old Testament, which is the foundation of his word, and then go into the New Testament, you will understand it a little bit more. But unless you know who the people are and what a land is, it's hard to get it. And if you've been poured into for 30 and 40 years like I was, it was difficult as it started being revealed through my children. It was hard for me to understand it. It was hard for me to think it. I was thinking it was a cult. But as time went on, he started talking to me and showing me things and showing me more and more and more. And I started growing, and I came out. He told me to come out to church. And I'm going to tell you what he just told me yesterday. He said to tell you to come out to church. If truth is not there, come out. He says things over and over and over, and that is what he means. So it's not hard serving him. It's just your mind is in Bab, where all of these different gods, you're wearing them with your shoes. Look it up. Wearing with your shoes, your clothing, all these names and stuff. We are walking in the land of different gods. And the church is not teaching you anything. I have one more message that he gave me yesterday about the atlas, and I'm going to put that by itself because I was going to put it with this, but he just spoke in my spirit and told me to do it by itself, one video. So I'm hoping that this reached everyone. May we walk in his ways, his love, his admonition, his obedience, his commandments, and reach out to your brothers and sisters and come and do what he say do. Love you much, and there will be a part 3. Shalom.